So recently I asked a question on YouTube. I made a poll where people could cast their votes. My post was, what is the main thing stopping you from being productive? And if you commented at all, if you voted at all, that's a huge concern. I'm concerned for you, bro. I mean, the only good answer that you could have possibly come up with if I told you what's stopping you from being productive is, there ain't nothing stopping me from being productive, bro. There ain't nothing stopping me. I am productive every single freaking day. But, I mean, even if there is something stopping you from being productive or whatever, and you're not being productive, well, that's all good because it can change, and it can change pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Once you get into the flow of things. So that's what this video is all about. This is a series, how to fix a dead end life, and productivity is a huge, huge tool for fixing a dead end life. So I had 5 options. You could cast your vote for 5 different options. I put 5 reasons why. What's the main thing stopping you from being productive? The results were very, very interesting. 3%. So far, there's 342 votes. It was only posted 9 hours ago, right? So there's going to be more over time, but I think 342. It's a decent number to get the ball rolling to see where people are at in general, right? So it was very kind of interesting results. It was a tie down the middle. It was a split tie. 3 things tied for 30%. Lack of direction. Unsure what to do. That's 1. 2, distracted with trivial things. That's 2. 3 is PMO and other vices. Those 3 things had about a perfect split with 30% each. About 30%. Then there was 2 other options, which was a lack of time and not sure the benefits of productivity. That was only 3% of each. 3% people said they have lack of time. 3% people said they're not sure the benefits of productivity. But for the most part, those were the 3 top things that seem to be, quote unquote, getting in people's way of being productive. So I'd like to discuss these things, how you can, overcome them and fix your life and work your way up towards leading a super fulfilling, super happy, epic, awesome, amazing life. It's very simple. So let's get into it. So it's all tied in together, right? For sure. But let's start with lack of direction. Lack of direction, not sure what to do. This is a common place that you might find yourself, especially as someone who's, dealing with PMO issues, right? Dealing with pornography addiction issues. But not just that, lots of people feel this way. So lack of direction and unsure what to do. So what you have to do, my advice is just pick the 1, 2, or 3 things, just a couple things that you feel a slight interest towards. We're talking about hobbies here, speaking of hobbies, only 3% of people said they have a lack of time. So it's not that you have a lack of time. So when you're thinking about hobbies, it's like a hobby. Like how am I going to spend my time? If I want to be productive, if I want to, get the ball rolling towards living a productive, successful life, it's all about hobbies, right? It's about what hobbies are you going to spend your time doing and skilling up. So, like I said, it's normal to feel unsure of what to do. Just pick a couple hobbies that you think are cool, that you think are interesting, that you think are cool. That's basically it. Pick a couple hobbies that you think are cool. Don't give me any excuses like, oh, I have no motivation, I have no inspiration, I have no drive, I have no I'm just, my dopamine receptors are fried. I'm just down. I'm in a flat line. I don't feel like doing anything. But I have no energy. Okay. I don't give a fuck about any of that. Pick a couple hobbies that you think are cool. Even if you're down and out and depressed and lethargic and apathetic and not feeling good and in a flat line and no energy and so on and so forth, no motivation, just pick a couple hobbies that you think are cool. And make the choice, make the decision to spend all of your free time doing these things. That's it. If what's stopping you from being productive is a lack of direction and you're not sure what to do, that's my advice, because that's what I did. I was in that same position. I was PMO addict, and I just didn't have any direction. I didn't have any inspiration or motivation or drive or willpower. Not willpower, but I didn't have the will to really do anything. I was just, lazing about, wasting my time, wasting my days, and every day felt the same. And I was just waiting for something to come along and save me, waiting for something to magically make my life better, waiting for this, that, and the third to improve my life so that then I would start enjoying life, and then I would maybe be inspired to be productive, and so on and so forth down the line, right? And I was just totally stagnant, depressed, lethargic, in a funk, flatline type of mentality. And every day felt the exact same. And, when I went to bed every night, I just thought, just another day gone and wasted. My life's passing me by. And, I just felt like my life was passing me by and I wasn't really doing anything. And I was just in a funk. I was in a stagnation. I had a dead-end life. And I had a lack of direction. I wasn't sure what to do at all. I was not sure what to do at all. But I said, hey, doesn't matter. I'm just going to pick one or two hobbies that I think are cool, that I think are interesting, that I wouldn't mind spending my time on. Because I just got sick of sitting around. Like, aren't you sick of sitting around, relapsing, doing nothing? Your life is going nowhere. You're not achieving anything. Every day is the same, day after day after day. And you're just in this funk, this stagnation. Nothing is progressing. You're not happy. You're not fulfilled. You go to sleep at night, another day wasted, gone by. My life is amounting to nothing. And you're just waiting for some miracle to come along and make your life better so you can be happy. But it's a stagnant, dead-end life, and you're not really happy and you're not really fulfilled with it. And nothing is really... There's no sense of fulfilling progress or anything. It's just dull, stale, stagnant, bored. And aren't you tired of living that way? Well, I sure was. I was dead tired of living that way, man. So I just chose a couple things. I said, hey, if this is the way it is, that exact situation that I just described is how I felt. That's the situation I was in. So I just told myself, I just got to the point where I said, you know what? It'd be better to just be productive. It would be better to just, even if I'm depressed, even if I'm bored and I don't feel like it and I have no motivation and I have no drive and I have no energy and I have no enthusiasm and I don't really care about being productive and I don't really care about these hobbies and I don't really care about these interests and I'm not feeling good and I'm unhappy and I'm depressed, and even though that's the way it is, I just got so fed up of just sitting around doing nothing with my life. I got so sick of sitting around doing nothing, just wasting my life. Like, how old are you, bro? You're not getting any younger. The days are just passing by. Yeah, years are just going to pass by another 5 years. And if you keep on the same track, you're going to only be where you are, but you're going to be where you already are now. But it's going to be even worse because you'll have the knowledge and understanding that you've wasted even more time and you've still amounted to nothing and things have still not improved and you're still doing PMO, and being productive and progressing towards goals and towards the success of those goals and achievements is a huge part of NoFap. So that's going to help get you out of the PMO addiction cycle. Just fucking do something with your life. Everyone says the urge came out of nowhere. The urge came out of nowhere. I don't know, man. The urge came out of nowhere and I just relapsed. Yeah, it's because your life is going nowhere. The urge came out of nowhere because your life is fucking going nowhere. So once you get into the productivity mindset, the never-changing constant cycle of just being productive with all of your free possible time, just grinding like a madman, like a bat out of hell, freaking fanatic like a demon, just going every single day, nonstop, 24/7, as hard as you can, as much as you can. Why? Why the hell would we do that? Because it's better than sitting around, doing nothing, living a stale, stagnant, dead-end life, another day, another PMO, wasting your life away day by day. Its clock keeps ticking and you keep you're just not going anywhere. Your life's not going anywhere. You're just sitting there, stale, in a stagnant muck of your own degenerate fucking lifestyle. And I got to the point where I told myself it'd be better to I might as well. That was my philosophy when I started doing this, when I started changing this for myself, because I used to be in that exact position. That used to be me. That used to be my life. And now I'm extremely productive, extremely happy, extremely fulfilled, extremely successful on NoFap. And I'm progressing every single day, and I have so much fun. I have so much fun, man. Every single day is just a blast. It's because I started making these key changes. I decided to be productive because I got tired of sitting around on my ass, amounting to nothing, doing nothing, and wasting my life every single day. Just wasting my life away. So I came to the conclusion that I might as well. If you ask me why would you do that? Why would you be like a, fanatic like a demon? You know what I mean? If you've watched ReZero, you might know that quote. Why are you so freaking crazy about being productive, Gabe? Why do you go so hard? I mean, me personally, just to give you a little insight into my life, the hobbies that I chose was guitar and learning new languages. Those were just two things that, like I said, I know you have no enthusiasm. Well, a lot of you have no, you're in a flat line. You're depressed. You're struggling through life. It's not fun. You're not having a good time, and you have no interest. You have no hobby. You're not like super interested and passionate about that's why you have a lack of direction. You're unsure what to do. I'm sure like most of you, you just don't really feel, you're down and out. That's what PMO does to you, man. You just makes you down and out, depressed, lethargic, unhappy, unmotivated, and uninspired. And that's where you probably happen to be finding yourself. And so naturally, you're not sure what to do. And that's the place that I was too. But I just chose two things that I felt a little bit of interest towards. Again, because I was in the same position as you. I was lethargic, quote unquote, flatlining, and I had no interest, no inspiration to do anything. I was totally stale, stagnant, dead-end life, no inspiration, no motivation, no energy, no drive. And I didn't feel like practicing guitar every day. I didn't feel like studying a new language all the time. I didn't feel like it. I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the energy and the drive. And it's not like I was just always this way. I wasn't always inspired to do these things. I wasn't always just totally driven, fanatic like a demon to the max, just freaking going hardcore. It wasn't always like that for me. I was so, I don't feel like doing anything. But I just got so sick and tired of that, man. Aren't you sick and tired of that? Fuck, I was sick and tired of that, man. That's a horrible, shitty life. That's a real horrible life. And that's the philosophy that's the realization that I came to. This is a horrible life. This is a freaking horrible life, man. So even though I had no drive, passion, and inspiration to start these hobbies, I just said, you know what? I might as well do something. Okay, that was the first realization I came to. I might as well do something with my life. My life is just wasting away, and I'm unhappy and blah, 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 blah. And I was relapsing too. I was stuck in a PMO cycle. And yeah, I was stuck in a PMO cycle, and I was just, and I was like, fuck, man, I might as well do something. But what do I do? And that's where that's where you find yourself. According to the vote, 33% of you guys said you're unsure what to do. But I bet a lot of you are already at that same realization too. Like, I might as well do something. I guarantee you a lot of you are already there, the place that I used to be. You have the realization that it would be better to just be productive at this point, right? But again, unsure what to do, and the lack of motivation, you don't have any drive. And that's where I was too. I had no drive, motivation, or inspiration to do anything. And I wasn't sure what to do, lack of direction. But the place that you start is, again, I didn't feel like practicing guitar all day long. I didn't feel like studying Japanese all day long. But I said, well, that's better than sitting around doing nothing. So even though I didn't have a lot of interest in doing these things, I had some interest. I had a little bit of interest. So just pick a couple hobbies that you think are cool and that you wouldn't mind doing, that you think are interesting. Even if you have no real deep passion and inspiration to do these things, it's better than sitting around, isn't it? Doing PMO and wasting your life. So just pick a couple things that you think are cool, that you think are interesting, that you wouldn't mind doing, that you wouldn't think you might enjoy, even if it's just a little bit. I get it. You're in a flat line, so on and so forth. You're not happy. You're not going to have fun doing these things per se, maybe, but it's better than sitting around. So just choose a couple hobbies that you would have a little bit of fun doing. And that's the place to start. That's the place to start. Pick a couple hobbies that you think would be kind of fun. That's it. Even if you're depressed, even if it's just 1% fun, even if that hobby is just 1% interesting, 1% fun, you are 1% inspired to do it, that's a wonderful place to start. That's a wonderful place to start, man. I was amazed that only 3% of you said what's stopping you from being productive is a lack of time. I thought it was going to be way higher, like 80% of people just don't have the time. That's what I was thinking. Maybe people probably just don't have the time to be productive. But now more than ever, right? Everyone's at their home. It's the whole pandemic and everything. People have just been home and everything. I was so amazed to find out only 3% of you said you're not being productive because you don't have the time. That's crazy, bro. Isn't that crazy? Think about it. 96% of you are not being productive either due to lack of direction, unsure what to do, you're too distracted with trivial things, or PMO and other vices. That's crazy. So in other words, man, I had a crazy realization. It really hit me hard, man, that failure is an option. Dude, we live in a world that's so easy to succeed. Holy crap. It has never been easier to succeed in life. I'm being dead serious. I had this realization last night and it hit me so hard. I realized, wow, you have to really go out of your way to be a failure in life, to not be successful. Because it's so easy to be successful nowadays. With the internet, with social media, it could not be more easy to be successful. Let me explain, man. You know how many people make an awesome living self-employed online nowadays? Doing what they love for a living? Now, if you look at these people, 9 times out of 10, maybe not 9 times out of 10, but most of these people, they're people that are extremely good at their hobby. That's it. I mean, if you just go on YouTube, you're already on YouTube. Just go on YouTube, man. There's so many people are making a living doing what they love. They just got so good at their hobby that people want to watch them. People want to give them money. People want to donate. People want to support them. People want to watch all their stuff and buy their products and listen to what they have to say. Because the person just got so good at doing whatever they love doing. And if there's something that you love doing, there's going to be lots of other people that love that same thing. And if you're super damn good at it, they're going to want to listen to you and buy your stuff and watch your performances. And you see what I'm saying? Okay, so what's stopping us from mastering a hobby that we enjoy? And the crazy thing is, 96% of what is stopping you is a lack of direction, unsure what to do, too distracted with trivial things, or PMO and other vices. In other words, all of that is completely in your control. It's not, oh, you just don't have the time, or it's not that you just can't succeed, or you know what I mean? It's like all you have is free time. Only 3% of you said you lack of time. So what if you devoted, let me ask you this, dude. What if you devoted all of your free time? This is just an example. I know it doesn't apply to most of you, but just hear me out. It's an example, okay? What if from the time that you were 5 years old, you played the guitar for 5 hours a day? And now you're 25 years old. So for 20 years, you played the guitar for 5 hours every single day. You would be an absolute you would be so dang talented. You would be so good. Let's calculate that real quick. Okay, so we got about 365 days in a year times 20. That's 7,300 days. Damn. 7,300 days in 20 years. Nuts. Let's times that by 5. That's 36,500 hours. Isn't that crazy? If I was good at math, I could have figured that out in my head now that I look at the numbers. But think about it. That's almost 40,000 hours. It's just an example, okay? Most people have never done this, but some people have. Some people have. It's just an example. You could say it's an unrealistic example because most kids are not going to start that way from when they're 5, but there's plenty of guitarists that have done this, played for 5 hours a day for 20 years. And these are the best guitarists. There's so many people, I'm a guitarist myself, so I watch tons of musicians on YouTube for inspiration and just to, you know what I mean? It's part of being a musician, constantly absorbing badass music and reflecting upon it and everything and learning from it. So the comment section of these videos is so, how do I say, it's really depressing, man. There's just millions of people on all these, all the best guitarists in the world on YouTube. There's just millions of comments. Lucky for him, he's so good. This guy's so talented. I fucking suck. I'm no good. I can never do that. I wish I was that good. Lucky for him. He's so talented. I suck. I could never do that. It's too hard. Might as well just quit now. That's like the number one thing that people say. They see these incredible people that have spent the 40,000 hours of their life skilling up in their thing that they were passionate about. They see these people that have worked so hard, blood, sweat, and tears for years and years and years, the best of the best in the world. They see these people and they think, might as well just quit now. This guy is so good. I'm a piece of shit. I might as well just quit now. Might as well just quit now. They get uninspired. They get demotivated from seeing these people that are so good. But that's such a negative way to see the situation, because what you have to realize is that every single one of those people used to be so freaking crappy, used to sound like crap. Those people have failed more times than we've even tried. Those people have messed up while they're playing more times than all of us have even tried. They've gone through so much more failures than we even have attempts. Years and years and years and years and years of constant dedication towards their hobby. But they used to just be the regular, average, run-of-the-mill Joe Schmo that no one gave a crap about listening to. But they just kept going. And you could do that too. And look at this freaking poll. Look at the poll, man. It's not that you have a lack of time. You have all the freaking time that you need to get incredibly talented at something. And you just go on YouTube. There's people. You look at these people that just in 5 years of constant daily practice, they get really, really good at something. And it's not just music, but it's plenty of things. 5-year transformation. There's in so many different genres of hobbies on YouTube, there's 5-year transformations that'll just blow your mind. Wow, 5 years, this guy got this talented because of his constant daily hard work. So it's not going to take you a lifetime. If you just start today, every single day, day after day, the hours are going to keep adding up, man. And you're really going to start progressing. And then you just keep going. Pretty soon, you're going to be one of those people. You could be one of those people on YouTube. 100,000 subscribers, 200,000, 1 million subscribers. And guess what? Now you're paying the bills doing what you love. Now tell me that wouldn't be sweet. Go ahead and try. Go ahead and try to tell me that wouldn't be freaking awesome. You kidding me? Doing what you love for a living? Getting paid big bucks to just do what you love and have fun? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? How cool does that sound? But guess what, buddy? There's only one way to do that. And it's through extreme productivity. Tell me how else is it possible? How else is it possible to master something except through extreme productivity? The type of productivity that most people would be shocked at. Well, hey, if you look at all of these people that are just so talented and good at something, getting paid to do what they love, that's the type of productivity that they've had for many, many years. Many, many years. Extreme productivity. The type of productivity, the type of obsession that makes them seem, they're a madman. They're like fanatic like a demon, a bat out of hell, inspired like a demon. You know what I mean? Demonically inspired. I'm not trying to be sacrilegious. It's a quote from ReZero. Inspired like a demon. But yeah, man. Most people would just be shocked at how obsessed these people are with their hobbies. But the funny thing is, that's how I feel now. But remember how I said I used to feel. Don't forget that I used to be in that exact position that you might be in. But now I feel that same drive, that same, dude, every day I am so motivated, so driven, so fired up to keep practicing and practicing. And I practice guitar for 10 hours every single day, and I study Japanese for about 5 hours, 6 hours. Now, some days is a little bit less. You know, some days I practice guitar for 8 hours, maybe 7, but roughly 10 hours a day. Sometimes I study Japanese for, 7 hours or 4 hours, but roughly 5 to 6, about that, give or take. Every day, nonstop. I've been doing this for a few months already. I haven't slowed down. Actually, I've only picked up my pace. After doing this for many months already, my pace has only increased. Not only have I not slowed down, but I've sped up. I've sped up, and really this is the way that I started out from the beginning. I started out with the same amount of practice hours. I've been practicing this way since the beginning. I've only been doing this, a couple months now, right? 6 months or so, right? 5-6 months. But that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of days, right? Let's calculate that for the hell of it. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of days, man. So I know what the hell I'm talking about. And it's only increased. Okay, so the time has been the same. Let's just put this in. Let's say 8, average 8 hours, right? Now let's say, okay, so let's say 6 months, on average, there's about 30 days in a month. So 3 times 6, 18, right? So 180 days. Times that, about 8 hours a day. That's already about 1,500 hours of guitar. In just 6 months, bro. In just 6 months. They say it takes 10,000 hours to master anything. Right? So, if you look at the people that are the best in the world, they have way over 10,000 hours of practice. I mean, just look at it. Way over 10,000 hours of practice. But let's just do a little bit of math here. So hold on a second. We got, in 6 months, I did about 1,500 hours of practice, which is kind of crazy to think about when you actually look at it on paper. That's kind of crazy, right? So, let's see. It would take about 7 times that by 7, and that'd be about 10,000 hours, right? If we take a rough average of 1,500, let's see, times that by 7, that's about 10,000 hours. So that was 6 months. So let's times 6 months by 7. That's 42 months. Divided by 12 months in a year. That's only 3.5 years, dude. That's only 3.5 years. So if you have the time, maybe you have the time now, but normally you don't have the time. I don't know. I'm gonna refresh this page to update it. But 3%, only 3% of you said you don't have the time. That's what's stopping you. Only 3%. So you got the time. They say this has been said many times. It takes 10,000 hours of practice to master something. Now, if you look at the people that are the best of the best in the whole world, they have way more than 10,000 hours of practice. The better someone is, that's all it is. That's all it boils down to. The better someone is, the more time they've practiced. That's it. It's not some miracle esoteric formula that they're following that you don't know about, that they have the secrets to becoming great and you don't, or it doesn't have anything to do with, they were born more talented, more capable than you are. They've just put in the work. But think about it. 10,000 hours? If you were training like me, dude, you kidding me? That's only 3 years. I put in 8 hours a day. I'm doing 10 hours a day guitar. About 5 hours a day Japanese. So that's only about 3 years. You know what I mean? I'm not going to do the math, but it's about 3 years. If you want to get to 10,000 hours, about 3 years. That's not a lot of time at all, bro. That's what I'm saying. If you work your freaking ass off, you could have an insane 5-year transformation. And a lot of people have already done it. Think about this. And let me think about another way to think about it, okay? Let me search this real quick, okay? I'm going to pull up someone who has over 1 million subscribers. A guitarist. Really talented young guitarist. I believe his name is Andrew Foy. I could be wrong. Let me pull it up real quick. Okay, so Andrew Foy. This dude's only like 18 years old, something like that, 18, 19, 2.5 million subscribers, right? Guitarist. Incredibly talented musician. But check this out, dude. He's been playing since he was 9 years old, right? He's 18 years old now, it says. So he has 9 years of practice. But get this, he says he only practices an hour and a half a day. An hour and a half a day for 9 years. So let's do that math, It's really important. This is really important what we're talking about here, about success. So 9 years, that's about 3,200 days, approximately. 3,200 days. And if you times that by an hour and a half of practice every day, that's about 5,000 hours. It's about 5,000 hours. So if you, look, bro, when it comes to how good someone is, it all boils down to how long they've been practicing. That's why, me personally, I've been playing guitar. I first picked up the guitar when I was 12 years old. I'm 29 years old now. But I wasn't playing consistently every year, all the time. There's plenty of years where I didn't even touch a guitar. So I played off and on throughout my life. But, there's plenty of times when I didn't touch a guitar for many years at a time. So it's not just how long you've been playing. It just boils down to practice. How much hours do you have under your belt? That's all it boils down to. That's how good you are. That's what it boils down to. How good you are is determined by how many hours you have practiced. There's a few other factors, but that's definitely the main factor. Just practice. Yeah, there's certain other things, but in general, how good someone is just how long they've been freaking practicing. So let's see. This guy has 2.5 million subscribers. YouTube is his full-time job. YouTube is his full-time job. The dude's 18 years old. He's already freaking set for life. He's self-employed. This dude is set for life. This dude is set for life. It's not like he's going to lose a bunch of subscribers. He's only going to keep playing guitar and keep being successful. He's already at 2.5 million. He's 18 years old. So he's already set for life by the time he's 18, doing what he loves for a living for the rest of his life. Lucky him, man. Lucky for him. I wish I was that talented. I wish I was that skilled. I wish I was lucky for fucking him, man. He's successful. But don't you get it? He's just a regular kid that practiced guitar every day for 1.5 hours for 9 years, approximately. That's it. He's just a regular person like you, me, everyone else. He stinks when he sweats. His shit smells. You know what I mean? He's a regular human being. He has all the flaws that we do, and he has all the great potential that we do. He's just a regular dude. And if he can do it, why the fuck can't you? Why the fuck can't I? There's no reason why you can't do this. Now, most of you are probably not inspired to be guitarists. It's just an example, though. It's just an example. You could apply this same logic to anything, any hobby, anything that you're passionate about, no matter what it is. Because if there's something that you're really interested in, I guarantee you there's other people that are interested in it too. And if you become the best of the best in the world at that thing, there's going to be people that are going to want to follow you, follow your journey, and watch you. Right? Okay, so let's see. This guy has practiced about 5,000 hours in his life. 5,000 hours of guitar in his life. Right? But dude, guess what, bro? Guess what? Check this out, dude. You're not going to believe this, bro. 5,000 hours, right? That's how much he's practiced. Let's divide that by 10. What if you practiced 10 hours a day? My dude, that's only a year and a half. That's only a year and a half, bro. Are you kidding me? That's 1 year and a half. Yeah, but who's going to practice guitar for 10 hours every single day? Who's going to spend 10 hours every day practicing guitar? But think about it, man. What's stopping you? Only 3% of you said you don't have the time. What's stopping you? What's stopping you from being successful? Now you might say, why? Why be so damn extreme? Why train so hard? Why practice for so many hours every single day? Why? I'm just a man who says, why not? Because I was at a point, stale, stagnant, dead-end life. I was in a funk. My life was going nowhere. I was unhappy. Every day was the same. My life was passing me by. I was doing PMO. And I was very unhappy with the way that things were. I'm just a guy who said, why not? Why not? Because I like 96% of you also was not being stopped by a lack of time. It's not that I didn't have the time. Think about that, dude. Andrew Foy, one of the best fingerstyle guitarists on YouTube. He's still young. He only has 5,000 hours of practice. So by the time he's 28 and 38, he is going to be among the greatest guitarists of all time. Of course. Because they just keep getting better and better. All these guitarists, they're not slowing down. There's plenty of guitarists that are freaking real young, and very, very famous on YouTube. I mean, another one, Eddie Vandermeer, young guy, super successful, couple million subscribers. Okay, Andrew Foy has only been practicing for 5,000 hours. But if you practiced 10 hours a day, my bro, that is only a year and a half. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's only 500 days. Are you kidding me? So am I saying that you could be just as good as Andrew Foy in a year and a half? Well, you could be about as good as him, you know. There is something to say. As I said, there's other factors because he has been playing for 9 years. So the 9-year span of time, playing for that amount of years has also got him to where he is today. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not just the hours, but it's overall the time. That has a factor to do with it. But dude, you could be about as good as him. If not just as good as him, if not better. But in the same ballpark, absolutely, in the same ballpark. There's another guy. Dude, there's another guy. I know this is guitar, and most of you don't care about guitar. It's just an example that you could apply to any hobby. This is just what I know, so that's what I'm going for. There's a guy, young guy, who's also set for life. Ichika Nito. Incredibly skilled guitarist from Japan. He's got almost 700,000 subscribers on YouTube. And he's just getting going, man. Dude, this guy burst onto the scene. Dude, this guy started his channel, hold on, 2 years ago. This guy started his channel 2 years ago. He has 700,000 subscribers. Let's go to his first video. His first video was posted, about, almost 2 years ago. But this dude's he's only been playing about 5 years. I forget, it might even be less. He's been playing around that time. I forget, but he's only been playing about 5 years. The dude has 700,000 subscribers. He says he practices guitar, I believe he said 5 hours every day. So let's add those numbers up, shall we? So we got 5 hours a day. First we got to get 5 years. So 365 times 5 years, right? Almost 2,000 days. We times that by 5. Again, he might have been playing a bit longer, but I believe he said about 5 years. It was in that ballpark. That's almost 10,000 hours. And they say it takes 10,000 hours to master anything, right? And this guy was voted best young guitarist in the world by some magazine. It's not the official vote or anything, but just some magazine. They voted this guy, this young kid. I forget how old he is. He's only like 18, 20 years old. You know what I mean? In some guitar magazine, he was voted best new guitarist. I forget, best young guitarist or best new guitarist in the world or something like that. Only, young guy as well, like 18 years old. He's been practicing about 10,000 hours. So, what's my point, man? My point is this, bro. 96% of us, the only thing stopping us is ourself. According to this chart, according to this graph that I have in front of me here, 32% is a lack of direction, not sure what to do. 31% too distracted with trivial things. 31% PMO and other vices. 3% lack of time. 3% not sure the benefits of productivity. I don't know what the benefits are. What's stopping you, man? I'm just a guy who said, why not? That's all I am, bro. I'm just a guy who said, why not? Why not? Because what else am I doing? I already explained the situation, but I want to reiterate it for you, okay? I had a dead-end, stale, stagnant life. You already know what I said. My life was in the shitter. My life was so dead-end life. So I just asked myself, why not? Even if I have to force myself, even if it's boring, even if I wake up and I don't feel like practicing or studying the videos, even if it sucks, even if I'm tired, even if it's too hard or difficult or I don't feel like it, even if I have no energy, even if I'm not motivated, even if I'm not inspired, even if I'm not feeling good that day, even if it's so damn boring and I gotta keep finding ways to make it interesting. Well, that would still be 1,000,000 times better than doing nothing, than just sitting around, wasting my life, being stale, being unhappy, being stagnant, going nowhere, feeling that my life is just passing me by, wasting my life, doing nothing, unhappy, unfulfilled, no progress, no direction, unclear, relapsing on PMO. So I just said, why not? That's going to be a bajillion times better than that. Being productive is going to be a bajillion times better, infinitely times better. So that's what I did. Even though I didn't have energy, I was tired, I had no energy, I was in a flat line. Spare me your excuses, bro, because I've already been there, done that, all right? I too was not interested I had no deep interest in these things, and I was uninspired. I didn't really care. I had no interest and great passion and motivation and drive and enthusiasm. And I was depressed and not feeling good and unhappy and unfulfilled and unmotivated. And I didn't have an extreme passion to practice 10 hours a day. I had to do it all just forcing myself to do it. because I said, why not? It's better than just sitting around doing nothing. That's the place that I started at. And indeed, that's how it was for the first however so many weeks and months and days. That's how it was for a while. It was boring. Oh, man, just practicing the same runs, practicing the same things on the guitar. Just watch another freaking Japanese video. Whoop-de-doo. You know what I mean? There's so much time where it was boring and I didn't enjoy it and it wasn't fun. And that's where a lot of people stop. That's the problem. That's where a lot of people stop. They say, whatever. I'm telling you, this is how it goes. People try to pick up the guitar. They try to pick up a new instrument, a new language, a new hobby, a new skill, a new craft, something, this, that, or the third. But it's boring and they're not feeling it and there's no drive or passion and there's no great, love for it and there's no great enthusiasm for it and they're tired and they don't feel like doing it and it's boring and after a while they get tired of it and it's not, I'm sick of this crap already. I don't feel like practicing the guitar today. I don't feel like it. It's not fun. I'm not having fun. It's boring. I'm too lazy. I'm too tired. I'm too depressed. I'm too lethargic. I'm in a flat line. Poor me. And then they just quit. They just give up. But it's not that I didn't go through that. But it was my attitude. It was really based on my understanding of the situation. Because I already experienced for so many years the results of not doing that, of not being productive. And I was in a stale, stagnant, dead-end life. So I kept going because that was better than not to keep going. And wouldn't you agree? It's not that I didn't go through all those days of it's boring and I didn't feel like practicing. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that say these things, I'm not in, that's how I felt. There's plenty of days where I just wasn't interested in playing the guitar. I didn't want to play the guitar. It wasn't fun to play the guitar. It was boring. I'm sick of this already. I don't have the energy. I'm not feeling well. I'm depressed. This, that, and the third, or I relapsed, or whatever it might have been. I went through all of that and more. But the thing was, the reason why I didn't quit then and there is because I realized I had a really deep understanding that was the best option that I could do. I might as well. That was just my question. That was my philosophy going forward all of these months of practice. That was just my philosophy. This is how I fixed the dead-end life. I have fixed the dead-end life. I'm sharing with you how I did it exactly. So that was my philosophy. That was my attitude towards every single day. This is just the best option. This is just better than not doing it. Even though I went through all that stuff of not feeling good, all those various ways of not feeling good, not feeling motivated to do it, to put in the work, my attitude was, well, I might as well. What else am I might as well. Because what else am I going to do? And what else are you going to do? You're just going to sit around doing nothing? Look, 30% of you. What else are you going to do? Just distract yourself with trivial things? What else are you going to do? PMO and other vices? What else are you going to do? Just sit around with a lack of direction, unsure what to do, not doing anything with your life? And the years are going to keep passing by, and you're only going to be more of a failure. Nothing's ever going to happen for you. You're not going to achieve success, and you're not going to lead this super fulfilling, dope, fucking kick-ass life because you just sat on your ass doing nothing. So it's not that I didn't go through all of those tough times of not feel like practicing, but I just thought, well, what else am I going to do? I'm just going to distract myself with trivial things? Fuck that. Might as well keep practicing. Even though it's boring, even though I don't feel like it, even though I'm not interested in doing it, even though it's not fun right now, even though I'm not feeling good, what else am I going to do? PMO and other vices? No, I might as well just practice. Give me the fucking guitar. I'm going to keep practicing. What else am I going to do? Sit around with a lack of direction, unsure what to do, wasting my life away? 5 more years is going to pass by. I still haven't achieved nothing. I'm still in the same place where I've always been, and nothing has progressed. I haven't achieved any success or anything, and my life is still unfulfilling after all this time. So I might as well just fucking practice, even if it's boring, even if I don't feel like it, even if it's this, that, and the third. Well, what else am I going to do? I might as well just keep practicing. That was my perspective. It's not that I was so fired up from passionate from the beginning. I didn't have all this passion and motivation and enthusiasm and drive, and that's another reason why people quit. They think some people just have that. They think some people are just motivated to do, some people that's just their thing, but me, I just don't really care. I'm just, you know what I mean? But you know what, man? What else are we doing? Even when it was boring and all those things, it's just, what else am I going to do? I might as well just do it. Even if it's boring, even if I have no energy or enthusiasm or passion, or I'm not having fun and it's just irritating, After a while, it just gets irritating. Even, you know what I mean? It's just, you're frustrated doing the same thing every single day. Day after day is just a grind, boring. But you know what? After only a short amount of time of being so productive as possible every single day, you slowly start falling in love with that lifestyle. It's so much better than the alternatives. I mean, you really just start falling in love with that lifestyle, man. And slowly, day by day, everything starts changing. Complete 180. You start waking up. Man, you can't wait to start practicing. You fall in love with it so much. The thing is, man, most people never do this. We live in a world where most people have not spent over 10,000 hours doing something that they're passionate about. That's the kind of world that we live in. I'm going to say that again because it's really important. The world that we live in, most people have not spent over 10,000 hours working on a hobby. Therefore, most people do not understand the benefits of productivity. Only 3% of you said the thing stopping you from being productive is you're not sure the benefits. But I'm here to say, if you've never done extreme productivity on one of your hobbies for long periods of time, you don't understand the benefits of extreme productivity. Everything starts changing. You go from being uninspired to inspired like a demon. Again, I'm not trying to be sacrilegious. Inspired like an angel. Inspired, heavenly inspired, divinely inspired, right? But seriously though, you go from being totally uninspired to being so inspired, it almost feels like if you don't, I almost feel like if I don't practice the guitar, I'm going to explode. Like that's how inspired I am to keep practicing. I went from a place of, whatever, I don't even feel like playing the guitar, to a place of, I need to play the guitar. I need to pick up that guitar and start jamming. I need to pick up that axe, start jamming. You know what I mean? I'm like so inspired. I'm sure I could be more inspired, but I'm really, 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 really inspired. But the only way that I achieved that level of inspiration was just putting in the work. It's amazing how it changes you when you start putting in all of this effort towards getting really good at something that you care about. It's amazing how it's so fulfilling. It makes you so happy. I went from a place of being depressed to a place of being so happy in life. I woke up this morning and I thought, oh my God, I don't have to do anything today. My day is free. Oh my God, I can play guitar all day today. Oh my God. I started at a place of, I really had to force myself to play all day. I really had to force it. But this morning I woke up after 6 or so months of doing that. I woke up this morning and I thought, oh my God, I have the opportunity to play guitar all day today. I don't have to do anything today. Oh my God, I just get to play. Oh my God. I was so elated with that realization. Oh my God, I can just play all day. I get to play guitar for 10 hours today. Oh my God, how lucky am I? Oh my God. That's how happy I was. That's how inspired. Like a kid at Christmas, man. Like a kid on Christmas morning. I was just, oh my God, yeah, let's do this. Me personally, just to give you a little bit of insight into my life, I'm currently living off of my life savings. So that's why I have all this free time, That's why I'm not working. I had to quit my job. I was a pet sitter. I had to quit due to COVID. Since everyone's home, no one needs a pet sitter, So right now I'm just living off of my life savings, and I'm trying to just, budget, live a simple, humble life, spend very little money, and just get by as best as I can for as long as I can. And I've saved up quite a bit of money, and I'm just going to live off of my savings and try to get as good as possible at these things. I'm going to make the most of my time. That's it. I've decided to make the most of my time. I practice guitar for 10 hours a day. I'm trying to get my Japanese study to 10 hours a day as well. But right now it's about 5 or 6 hours. So I started at a place of, let's talk about NoFap for a second, because there's so many benefits of productivity. We're going to be here for a while explaining it all to you, the benefits of productivity. I went from a place of struggling with urges to a place of, when you're making so much progress on your hobbies and your goals, and you're progressing in a noble direction, a worthy direction, and you have a clear direction with your life, and you're progressing on these hobbies, you really, really start valuing your time. And it really, really just helps you to move on from PMO, because you're being so busy being productive with your life. It just makes it so much easier to move on from PMO. And a lot of you guys said that the main thing stopping you from being productive is PMO and other vices. But I guarantee that in your free time, when you're not doing PMO or those other vices, you're not being extremely productive either. So you can't really say that it's PMO or other vices. Because I guarantee, bro, in your free time, when you're not doing PMO, when you're not doing those other things, I guarantee you're not working your ass off towards your hobbies. I guarantee it. Maybe very few of you are. So my point is that it's not that PMO and these vices are stopping you from being productive. You're just choosing to not be productive. You're just living an unproductive lifestyle. Because the thing is, dude, like, man, that's what I'm saying about the time. Let's go back to the Andrew Foy example. He only has 5,000 hours of practice, right? So, yeah, even if you're wasting all this time, but you're practicing for 5 hours a day, you're still going to achieve a lot in life. You see what I'm saying? Like, most people that are extremely successful and are really talented at something, they're not that crazy like I am about being productive. Probably because maybe they never had such a dead-end life like I had. I went to such an extreme dead-end life that the only obvious solution to that was extreme productivity. And maybe that's why. Maybe most people, they're super productive. They're very productive. They do a lot of their work on their goals every single day. But they also spend a lot of time doing other stuff. Me, I really don't spend much time doing other stuff. 10 hours, there's not a lot of time in a day. If you want to practice guitar for 10 hours a day, that's most of the day. Think about it. That's most of the freaking damn day I'm just practicing. And so how am I going to fit the Japanese in there? Well, there's plenty of times, like while I eat, I listen to Japanese, while I'm in the bathroom doing whatever I need to do in there, various things. I'm listening to Japanese lessons on YouTube for free. And that's another beautiful thing, is it doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost me anything. There's so many free lessons online. It doesn't cost me anything to play the guitar. There's so much free tablature and guitar things online and everything, resources. Pretty much in all of my free time that I have, while I'm driving, while I'm I just always have my headphones in, always listening to Japanese lessons. And for a couple hours a day, I'll even watch while I'm practicing like my runs on the guitar, because a lot of when you're practicing scales and arpeggios and everything and technique and everything, you can kind of zone out a little bit while you're doing it, because you kind of just get into like an autopilot mode and you're still programming the mind-muscle connection and muscle memory and mental memory. You can kind of get into a routine of it, because it's a productive, like if you're just practicing a scale over and over and over again, or an arpeggio or a certain pattern or technique over and over and over, you can kind of get into a routine of it where you can do it while paying attention to other things. And so I'll just put on Japanese videos. I used to watch anime. I used to watch movies and anime, but that's not productive. I mean, for the most part, that's like, what's that going to do for me? How's that going to make me successful in life? So I switched to Japanese lessons. While I play guitar, I study Japanese at the same time. It's not as effective as just playing guitar, 100% concentration on the guitar. It's not as effective as just studying Japanese, 100% on your studies. But that gets a little boring after a while, So I do these things to make it more creative, make it more interesting. And that's been a huge part of the journey. I never quit. And I'm not going to quit. But you do have to find ways to make it interesting, because it does get boring and it does get old and repetitive. So I got to find ways to make it interesting and creative. So I don't. So I just keep doing it. And there's plenty of ways that you can do that, and you'll figure these things out. You're going to have different hobbies than me, most likely. So there's going to be different things for different hobbies, different people, but you'll figure it out as time goes on. You just be creative and you'll figure out creative ways to be as productive as possible. So there's not a lot of time in a day, right? And even this video is taking up a lot of my time. It's taking up a lot of my time. But you know what? I care about you guys and I want to share it. And it's going to help me. It's going to help you to make this information. And I want to help you guys. I want to help you too. I want you to succeed in life too. So it's well worth it. But suffice to say, as I was saying, is that, there's not a lot of time in a day. If you want to practice 10 hours a day, there ain't much time for much else. Plus, on top of that, studying, Japanese about 6 hours a day. That's hard. That's hardcore. That's hardcore. But why not? And I'm telling you, when you start going that hardcore at your hobbies and you're making that much progress and you're being that consistency and you have that level of work ethic, I'm telling you, it really makes NoFap a lot easier. It really inspires you to quit PMO. It really helps you to just move on and live a new life. Because for many reasons, I'm not going to get into the reasons because you'll figure them out on your own as you go along. I don't want to waste your time, but yeah, it's really freaking important on NoFap to have be super productive, hobbies, new life, etc. Right? So I went from having an unfulfilling life. Every day was just the same monotonous, boring, stale, stagnant routine. I would go to sleep every night. Another day wasted. That's how I felt every single day. Another day wasted. Another day, another night. Here I go, just going to bed. Might as well go to bed because there's nothing else to do. And life's just passing me by. But now I am so fulfilled. I have so much fulfillment and happiness and love. I love life. I have so much love for life and love for my day and love for what I'm doing and love for my passion and my hobbies. But remember, it wasn't that way when I started. I didn't have any great enthusiasm for playing the guitar and studying Japanese, and I really had no great enthusiasm or interest or passion or vigor to do it. But when you just start dedicating yourself to being that productive every single day, day after day, you start making a lot of progress. And when you start making a lot of progress, you really start getting passionate about it and interested in it. And you know what? The passion develops. And a lot of people say, I'm not passionate about anything. That's because you've never done anything. Why would you be passionate about something that you have not even worked at, that you have not even worked on or worked towards? Why would you be so inspired? And that's what a lot of people say, I'm not inspired, man. I'm not inspired. And you just don't do anything. Just sit around, keep doing PMO. I'm not inspired, man. Or it's just another excuse. I'm too tired. I'm in a flat line. I have this problem and I have this issue and this thing is lucky for you, Gabe, because you don't got to deal with what I got to deal with. And hey man, if I was in your situation, good for you, man. But my life is much harder than yours. I have this thing going on that you don't, and that's why I can't be productive and you can. And that's the way that life is, and it sucks, and that's just the way it is. And so I'm just gonna keep sitting around doing PMO, wasting my fucking life. But I'm saying, no matter what the fuck you got going on, isn't being extremely productive better than sitting around and doing that and doing PMO and doing nothing and wasting your damn life? We all got problems. We all got issues. We all got shit to deal with. We all got crap going on. But you know what? What else are we going to do? What's the alternative to being productive? Having a dead-end life. The alternative is having a dead-end life. Now, 99% of you, 9 out of 10 of you, you're going to have different hobbies than I do. You're going to have different goals than I do. Your goals could be completely different. And I'm sure they most likely will be. But I believe that the principles that I'm talking about could be applied to any hobby, no matter what it is. I mean, there's billions of hobbies, right? But I really do think that what I'm saying is really, really universal, what I'm talking about. And it can be applied to any hobby. And anyone can fix a dead-end life. Only 3% of you said you don't have the time. And at the end of the video, I'll explain that even if you have a lack of time, you can still be very productive and still be successful and still achieve some great things. So that's about it as far as the benefits go. To recap, and I'm sure there was stuff that I missed, but overall, I would just say that I've already explained the way that I used to feel, stale, stagnant, dead end life, etc. And to just tell you the benefits, all I got to do is describe my life now. I'm happy, fulfilled. NoFap is easy. I'm doing great. I have a lot of fulfillment. I love my life. I have a lot of love and passion and enthusiasm. I'm very passionate about my hobbies and interests. Oh yeah, one of the key benefits of being productive is that you start developing long-term life goals. You start developing long-term life direction. You discover what matters to you. You start tapping into meaning and purpose and significance. You go from living that stale, dead-end, dull as death life, you know what I mean? That absolutely stale, dead-end life. But through the extreme, consistent productivity, you start discovering what matters to you. I'm telling you, because you're living on purpose. I can tell you why this happens is because you're living on purpose, you're living with intention, you're living with meaning, you're living based on being productive and working towards goals and working on things that you care about, things that you're interested in. And all of these things, it opens up a gateway for you that you're going to step through inevitably that's going to take you towards discovering your highest path in life, towards discovering what truly matters to you, towards discovering what truly inspires you and motivates you, towards setting your sights on very lofty, long-term visions of success. And you're going to start working towards those every day, and it's going to inspire you and make you feel fulfilled and motivated and passionate and enthusiastic for life and happy and stoked and feeling great and making progress and being successful. And the days of hard work are all going to pay off, and we're going to go to the top. And in a few years, just a few years, we're going to make so much progress that people won't even be able to believe it. And then year after year after that, we're going to be so successful doing what we love for a living. And what I'm saying is, why not? Because what else are you going to do but sit around with a lack of direction, distracting yourself with trivial things like PMO and other vices? So I would say, why not? Why not just be productive? So again, I know you're not filled with enthusiasm and interest for certain hobbies and passions. I know. Because that comes as a result of hard fucking work. Of course you're not passionate about anything. You've never done anything. Why would you be passionate about things that you've never even done? That's what I'm saying. It's like when you put thousands of hours of hard work into your hobbies, of course you're going to be passionate as frick about them. Why would you be so passionate about hobbies when you've never even put any effort into getting good at them? Plus you're doing PMO, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's obvious. So I understand that you're probably completely uninspired to pick up some hobbies and start working your ass off 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 15 hours a day like me. But, well, I've already explained the benefits and why I do it and why I think it's the most sensible thing to do. So if you want to start being productive and fix your dead end life like I did mine, all you got to do is choose a couple things. It could just be one, it could be two, it could be three, it could be more. But choose some things that you have a little bit of interest in. Obviously, if you have a dead-end life, for many reasons, you're just not going to be very interested in being productive and doing things. So just pick a few hobbies that you have a little bit of interest in, that you think is a little bit of fun. Even if you get bored of it, but this is okay, it's all right, I mean, it's cool, I like it, it's fun. I don't know if I could do it for 10 hours a day, but yeah, it's cool, I like this, Maybe you can't do it for 10 hours a day, like obviously lifting weights, you can't do for 10 hours a day. So you're just going to have to, if lifting weights is one of your hobbies, work your ass off with that, but then you're going to have fill in the time with other things, right? But yeah, man, do your thing. Pick some things that interest you. Set a routine, set a schedule, just however the fuck you want. You know what I mean? Just pick some things that you're interested in. Just go as hard as you possibly can. Be productive to the max. You just schedule your routine, schedule your day, however you want to schedule it. Doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? But just, and try to not ask me so many questions, man. Try to be a little fucking self-sufficient, man. Try to rely on your own damn self a little bit, Like, people just ask me the most common sense questions and ask me to talk about the most common sense things. It's like, dude, this shit is too important and personal for me to figure out for you. Like, Gabe, how should I schedule my day? Dude, that's way too personal and important for me to figure out for you. So you try your best to figure out these things for yourself, man. Try your best to really ascertain what your Gabe, is this okay? Is this good? Is this bad? Like, dude, you got to be a little self-reliant, a little self-sufficient, man. Try to figure some things out for yourself once in a while, because at the end of the day, only you can ascertain what your highest path is in life. Only you can ascertain what is right and wrong for you. Only you can figure out these things, So, no, I'm not saying don't ask questions and don't listen to people's advice, but I'm just saying, man, like, sometimes you got to figure out shit on your own, dude. You can't be just like this complete dependent follower on people. You know what I mean? Like, lead yourself to victory, man. I don't want followers. I really don't. All I want to do is try to help people to help themselves. Because you can give a man a fish and he can eat for a day or two. But if you teach a man to fish, he can eat for life. So try to be a little, there's a lot of shit that you're going to have to figure out on your own. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's going to be a lot of questions in the comments, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of stuff. Most of this stuff you're going to have to figure out on your own. Like, how to set your schedule. Well, I don't know anything about you. You know what I mean? I don't know what your hobbies are. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's just a lot of stuff that you're going to have to figure out on your own. Because it's just too personal and important for anyone to figure out for you. But it's easy, you know what I mean? It's real easy. It's not complicated. Just go with the flow and just be productive as fuck. No matter what you do, no matter how you schedule your routine, don't waste time. Just be productive as fuck. And that's it, man. So, the final thing that I'll say in the video, I know I got to address the lack of time. I'm still going to deal with that. There's people that have commented on the post. I could go into it. I'll go into it very briefly. First, I'll address the lack of time. So if you have a lack of time and that's what's stopping you from being productive, it's not entirely true. Everyone has time. Everyone goes to the bathroom in the morning. Everyone takes a shower. Everyone has to shave. Everyone has to brush their teeth. Most people have to drive or walk to work or walk to this, that, and the third. Most people have time when they're sitting around, they're waiting for something. Maybe you're waiting to pick up your kids, or you're on your lunch break, or there's plenty of time. There's plenty of downtime in our day. Even if we are super duper busy, we don't have a lot of time. If you really think about, well, how could I use my time more effectively? You'll see that there's a lot of room to be productive. As I said, man, everyone has to eat. You have to eat, right? A lot of people, 3% of you, not much, but 3% out of, 400 votes, 3% of people said that the main thing stopping you from being productive is a lack of time. You have to eat, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you have to eat, right? So what are you doing while you're eating? You could be studying. What are you doing while you're driving? You could be studying. What are you doing while you're taking a poop? You could be studying. What are you doing while you're in the shower? You could be studying. What are you doing while you're shaving? You could be studying. What are you doing while you're on your lunch break, while you're waiting to pick up your kids, get off school, while you're waiting for this, that, and the third? What are you doing while you're waiting to fall asleep? What are you doing when you wake up in the middle of the night and it takes you 10 or so minutes to go back to sleep? What are you doing when you wake up in the morning, but you just lay there for 10 minutes? What are you doing at the end of the day when you get off of work? What are you doing before work? That's all time that can be used for being productive. I guarantee you, you're not doing that. How do I know you're not doing that? Because if you were doing that, there's no way that you would actually write on my post that you're not being productive. Because if you actually utilized all of that free time, there's no way you could tell anyone that you're not being productive. My question was, what's the main thing stopping you from being productive? And if you really were utilizing every minute of your free time, even though you're super busy, I know, as I said, I'm living off my life savings right now. So I have a lot of free time, and 96% of you have a lot of free time, or 94%, whatever. But, you know, I'm not a guy who's unfamiliar with hard work at all, you know, so, but that's been my style. It's been my style for a long time to be productive, even though I was working, you know what I mean? And for many, many years in all of my free time, I listened to audiobooks, I read books, I wrote, I wrote things like towards my goals, and I was working on my goals. So I'm not new to being productive at all. I am a bit new to extreme productivity, but I'm not completely new to productivity. You know, I'm not completely new to it. And I've certainly worked very hard on this channel, you know. So my point is, man, that even if you do have a lot of obligations and you don't have a lot of free time, you can still achieve a lot of things. And I guarantee you that you're not doing that, because if you were doing that, there's no way that you would say that a lack of time is stopping you from being productive, because there's a lot of time that you could be utilizing. Okay, now I know this was only posted 10 hours ago, so I know that there's going to be more things that pop, more comments, but I'm just going to go through some basic stuff and read the comments and address these issues, etc. So this guy says, I'm lazy and I have no direction. It's not about being lazy or not. You just got to force yourself to do it. It's not that I was not lazy. Well, I was lazy too, but I just came to the realization that forcing myself to be productive was better than not. I have no direction. Of course you don't have direction. I already explained why. Because you have not spent 10,000 hours doing something, working on your hobbies. But you just got to do it. You just got to start. For me, I have a constant fight with myself. One voice is telling me to go study or do something interesting, talk to people, and another voice tells me how good PMO would be. All right. I'm not skipping your comment. I'm going to address it, but let's get the ball rolling with some comments, because I'm just going to lump them all together for a lot of stuff. I usually get distracted by other stuff. Just this guy lives in a third world country. He's under war, corruption. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, man. You know, he says internet is going out and he has to spend time. He is busy, busy doing stuff, and blah, blah, blah. What's this guy says? Lack of courage, lack of action, motivation. I want to fight for freedom, and it seems no one else does. This guy says, none of the above. I have an anxiety issue. Bro, it really sucks. Coronavirus, I need to interact with in person. This guy says PMO and OCD with other stuff. My dopamine receptors are fried. I'm too distracted with trivial things like worrying about dumb little stuff, spending too much time online, constantly refreshing things like Discord, Twitter, procrastination. And if I left this post up for another billion hours, it's just going to be more and more of the same type of ish, if you know what I'm saying. like, whatever the fuck this, like, bro, when you're telling that to someone who's been spending 10 to 15 hours of extreme productivity for many months on end, and it's only picked up for me, I haven't slowed down, but in fact I'm more inspired and really driven even more. I don't even have to try anymore. I don't even have to try to I don't have to force myself anymore. I don't have to try to get inspired to play guitar. I don't have to try to get motivated or passionate. It's just in me now, because I've been doing it for so long and I'm progressing, and it just you fall in love with the lifestyle. To put it simply, you get addicted to being productive. You fall in love with the lifestyle of it, because it's a fucking kick-ass life, man. So when a guy like me hears all this stuff, I'll tell you, that's exactly where I used to be too. I'm lazy. I have no direction. There's one voice telling me to study and work on my stuff. Another voice telling me to do PMO. Lack of courage, lack of action, lack of motivation. No one else understands me. No one else shares my cause. Anxiety, blah, blah, blah. No friends, no one to hang out with. PMO, other OCD stuff. Dopamine receptors are fried. Procrastination, distracted with trivial things. We're like, okay, like, I've been through all this shit. All those things you mentioned, I've dealt with before. And if I can be super fucking productive, so can you. It's not a reason why you can't be productive. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I could go on and on. I could go on and on until the end of time and let people just keep commenting and commenting. But I'm just going to say, like, bro, 96% of you, 94% of you said it's not a lack of time. You're just not doing it. And I'm saying it's just a choice. Even if you have no energy. I don't have energy every single day. Some days I'm tired. Some days, you know what I mean? I explained the place that I've come from. But it's just a choice. It's just a choice, man. Oh, my dopamine receptors are fried. I'm this, that, and the third. I'm too tired. I'm depressed. It's like, dude, okay, you just force yourself to do it. That's all it is. You're not going to feel your best every day. Some days you'll be tired. Some days you won't feel well. Some days you won't feel like being productive. It all just boils down to choosing to live a productive lifestyle, regardless of other factors. That's all it boils down to. And part of me wants to really raise my voice about this issue. Like, look, I want you to get it through your head. I really do. I really want you to just, part of me feels like screaming, like, come on, man. It's really simple. But there's no point, I've said the truth. I've said what I had to say, and you either see it or not. But I'm telling you, that's the place I've come from. And I'm telling you, now that I can look back on that, I'm saying it's all just bullshit that you're just telling yourself. Okay, one thing, this guy brought up a good point. He says, I usually get distracted by other stuff since my country is under war. I start doing something, but the electricity goes down, and sometimes we just have electricity for 3 to 6 hours a day. I also have to worry about a lot of other stuff like fuel, cooking, gas, water. Getting this done isn't easy, and sometimes it takes many hours. Sounds like a hard life, and I'm sorry. We all go through hard times. I know what it's like. I've been homeless myself, and everyone's gonna have to go through hard times. Sorry I am sorry that you're going through hard times. But it's a really great comment, and you do have to get creative in order to be productive. A lot of great comments. A lot of people said, "Oh, this," well, I have no friends. But a lot of people just stop there and use that as an excuse. Like, This is a very common pattern of unproductive people. They come up with an idea, a belief in their head of why they can't be productive, and then they just call it quits. They just say, well, that's the way it is, and I can't be productive. Oh, this, that, and the third. This is the reason I can't be productive. I have this problem. And they just resign themselves to being unproductive. And that's not how productivity works. If you want to be extremely productive, you have to work within what you have. You have to work with what you got. And you have to be creative, and you have to find solutions. You have to start searching for solutions rather than just coming up with the problem and then just quitting. But the solution is there if you look for it. Human beings are so intelligent and amazing. We can come up with brilliant solutions to problems. So that's the thing, man. Like, maybe whatever, like I'm saying, like, again, there's billions of people on the planet, and everyone has a different story, so there's a lot of shit that only you're going to figure out for yourself, because I don't have the time to sit down with every single one of you in person and explain how you can coach you to success. But I'm doing it here and now for free, you know what I mean? But I'm saying just there's a lot of shit that you're going to have to find out on your own. You're going to figure out for yourself, right? Such as being creative, finding solutions to these types of problems. Like, oh, well, I want to do this hobby, but because of this, I can't. Okay, well, find a way, either find a way around it or pick a new hobby or do something, you know what I mean? Like, don't just do nothing, because don't let what you can't do prevent you from doing what you can. There's always shit that we can't do. But don't let that prevent you from doing things that you can do. Right? All of you got internet. There's so much resources online for studying, for learning, for self-development, for just increasing your understanding of a hobby, your skill at a hobby. There's a lot of resources online, and if you're watching this video, I know the guy said internet issues. Maybe you could download stuff onto your computer, or maybe just get new hobbies, different hobbies that you can do around the clock. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what you're interested in. I don't know your hobbies. I don't know your life. But I do know that it's impossible for us to have no option to be productive. We always have a way to be productive. That's what I've learned. No matter what. And maybe that's something you're only going to understand like after you've been productive for like many years and gone through many different types of situations and put in the thousands of hours of work, and you really start seeing things in a new way. But what you're going to start understanding when you do that is that no matter what, you can be productive in life. No matter what. I don't care if you have anxiety, you have OCD, you have this problem, you have an addiction, regardless of all of our obstacles and trials and tests and this, that, and the third, which we all have, regardless of any of that, we can be productive. It's going to take being creative, finding solutions, coming up with the right game plan for the situation that we're in. It's going to take many things. But if you really think outside of the box and be productive and find solutions and be creative and adapt and be flexible and not give up and dedicate yourself, make the commitment towards no matter what, I will be productive. No matter how I got to do it, I'm going to do something. And that's the thing, man. It's like maybe you really want to do this and that and the third, but you can't for some reason at this moment in your life. And then you just give up on being productive altogether. Well, okay, well, I'm sorry. Pick something else. What else are you going to do? What else are you going to do? You're just going to waste your time being with a lack of direction, wasting your time distracting with trivial things like PMO and other vices. So for whatever reason, maybe you can't do this, maybe you can't do that, maybe blah, 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 blah. Maybe you just got to find a solution to be able to do it. Maybe you just got to be creative, think outside of the box, find a way to do it. Maybe you just got to find something else to do. But no matter what, once you really embark on the productivity lifestyle full on for a long time, you will understand very clearly that no matter what, there's nothing stopping you from being productive. And that's the ultimate mindfuck of the video. That's the ultimate fucking realization, insight of the video. That's the whole point of the video. That's the thing that I asked you. I said, the post, what's the main thing stopping you from being productive? In only 10 hours, 360 people voted. They said, a lack of time is stopping me. Lack of direction, I'm unsure what to do, is stopping me. Too distracted with trivial things is stopping me. PMO and other vices are stopping me. I'm not sure the benefits, and that's stopping me. But trust me, from a guy who has really embarked on the extreme productivity lifestyle and really got a hang of it, I'm new to it, but I've learned a lot. Trust me, bro. Nothing could ever stop you from being productive. Unless you're like a prisoner of war and you're just like, you know what I mean? Like the worst situation, like only that kind of stuff could ever stop you from being productive. Even if you're in jail, you can be productive as fuck. Look how much inmates train. They train like crazy. You know what I mean? You could meditate in jail. You become an enlightened master, meditate in jail, you know what I mean? Work out all day, do calisthenics all day long, meditate all day long, you know what I mean? Even like, that's my point. Even if you're in jail, you could be fucking super productive. Even if you're really busy, you can be productive with the free time that you do have. So the actual situation that someone would find themselves in which they can't be productive is extremely rare. Like, you know, if you're a prisoner of war, you're being tortured. Like, yeah, you can't be productive. I'm sorry. I wish, you know, it sucks. You know, maybe if you're starving to death, you couldn't be productive. You know, it happens. Unfortunately, it's a huge misfortune on this planet. You know, there could be reasons why you can't be productive. But if you're watching this video, you're not in those types of situations. If you have access to the internet, you have access to success. It couldn't be easier for us to succeed in life with the modern technology, because you can work from online now. And if you're watching this video, that means you're online. And if you're online, you can work online. Maybe not now, because you're not mastered anything yet. But eventually, once you start being productive and get on a roll, you're going to fix your dead-end life. You're going to have the best life ever. So hope the video helps. I'm sure there was things that I forgot to say or whatever. I'll mention it next time, I'm sure. But that's it, man. It's how to fix a dead-end life. If you want to go from a shit, completely crappy, dead-end life to just the best life ever, just the most incredible, fulfilling, successful, meaningful, purpose-filled, wonderful, epic, awe-inspiring life, in my opinion, the way to do that is through extreme productivity. Because if you look at all the people that have done that, that's exactly their lifestyle, extreme productivity. And it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense once you start doing it and start getting into the success lifestyle. So the final thing that needs to be addressed, I know it's a long video, there's a lot of shit to say, bro. This is a fucking deep topic. The final thing to say is, what, you know, like people say, you know, what about PMO? I maybe have an addiction, and that's wasting all of my time. PMO and maybe I'm addicted to my cell phone or trivial things, like the guy said, kept social media. What do I do then, Gabe? Of course, it's a journey to get over those habits. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes time, and it's a journey. No one can deny that. The only thing that I'm going to tell you is that that's not stopping you from being productive. Here's what I have to say. If you make the choice to be as productive as humanly possible, it's okay to take rests. It's okay to take rests and breaks, and it's okay to, chill out for a few minutes. But if you make the decision to commit yourself to the lifestyle of being as productive as humanly possible towards hobbies that you're interested in, if you make that commitment and that decision towards that life, and you actually, it's not just like a thing that you tell yourself, that's it, I'm going to do it, but you're really serious, like you're really serious and you start doing it, of course, because you have these bad habits still built up, it's a journey to overcome them. It takes time. And yeah, you're going to waste time with these things. You are going to waste time with these trivial things because you're obsessed with them still. But what I'm saying is that if you make that commitment and that decision to be as productive as you possibly can on your hobbies and your goals and your interests, it's going to help you tremendously to let go of those other distractions. That's kind of like the point that I'm getting at, is the reason why you're having such a hard time letting go of those things is because you're not being extremely productive. But through extreme productivity and having a clear direction in life and making progress every day, it's going to help you immensely to break free from those other old habits. So with that being said, I can finally take a rest my voice, and get back to playing guitar. I can't tell you how fired up I am to pick up that guitar and start playing those strings, man. It didn't start that way. It started out a stale, dead-end, stagnant life, unenthusiastic, unhappy, unmotivated, unpassionate, unsuccessful. But I'm telling you, man, I'm going to pick up that axe, and I'm itching to pick up that axe, man. And I'm itching to put on a new Japanese video, learn some new grammar, some new vocabulary. I'm itching for it, man. I'm in love with life. I got the best life in the world, man. The only thing that's changed is being productive. Months ago, when I started this extreme productivity journey, as I said, I'm not foreign to being productive, but the level of extreme productivity that I'm on now is new to me. About 6 months or so, right? Or so, 5, 6, whatever. But I'm saying, man, it's the most life-changing thing, bro. And I went from just unhappy, crappy, stale, stagnant life. I was even doing nofap for a long time for the most part. You know what I mean? I was doing good for the most part, but I was still just like not doing anything. I wasn't being productive. I was just sitting around, wasting my time, watching movies. I had some injuries, so I couldn't train, and I was just sitting around, and what do I do? And lack of direction. But what I'm saying is, man, extreme productivity is incredible. It's life-changing, bro. And nothing in my life changed except being productive. I mean, for the most part, My life is the exact same. I did get a better house. I moved into a better house. That's a huge upgrade for me. But other than that, everything's just the same. But now, man, I got the best life in the world, bro. That's how I feel every single day, man. This is the best life in the world, bro. I'm so blessed. I'm so happy, so fulfilled. And I'm telling you, once you set out on the journey of extreme productivity, you're going to discover what matters to you in life. You're going to realize what is important to you, what is meaningful to you, what is significant to you. You're going to develop dreams and a great enthusiasm for the things that are inside of your heart, or the things that you love and care about. And you're going to start setting major life goals based on these things that you love and care about. You're going to set, and don't you see, through your extreme hard work, it's going to pay off. You're going to be so fucking successful that other people are going to be envious of you because they're too stupid to understand that they could do it too. And I'm telling you, bro, it's incredible how great being productive is. It's wonderful. It's awesome. It kicks ass. I live the best life now, man. And nothing changed but my schedule, my routine. And it really gets you in touch with what matters to you. You start setting major life goals. You set out on the path of greatness, the path of being an extremely successful person. Because 24 out of, I don't know, I forget the exact statistic. It's from a while back during Earl Nightingale's time. But it's something like 20 out of 25 people don't know why they get up and go to work in the morning. You know what I mean? Something like that. And yeah, man, most people just live with a lack of direction, unsure what to do, no direction. Most people got a stale, stagnant, dead-end life, and they don't even, whether they realize it or not. And I'm telling you, it's all because people have not spent thousands and thousands and thousands of hours getting really good at something that they care about. And that's why they have no direction, directionless generations. That's it, man. That's why people are unsuccessful, so on and so forth. There's always more to say. There's always more to learn, myself included. But for now, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Stay true to yourself, man. Follow the light in your heart. Walk your highest path. Fly on the wings of love. Keep reaching for the skies and beyond. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy, man. Peace be with you all.